All right, back here in studio, Cardale Jones and Richard Johnson. Richard, we're hearing the news. Drew Allar out for the season. We don't have the specifics. We saw him go down extremely hard there in that game. The season continues to get worse for the Nittany Lions. 3 straight losses, and now your starting quarterback's done for the year.
Yeah, rock bottom finds a new low for Penn State. Obviously, you lose last week against UCLA, 24-point favorite. You lose at home today against Northwestern as a 21-point favorite. Northwestern didn't have its best running back in Cam Porter, who was hurt earlier in the year, but they were ready to play here, and Penn State wasn't again. It's again, Penn State's not able to get up. That Oregon game has now sort of figuratively beaten Penn State 2 more times, if you want to call it that. They have been unable to answer the bell. They've been unable to recover from that loss against Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that Oregon game, and I said it before, that was type of loss that you have an emotional drain and strain that kind of lingers on that season. Everything was the whiteout. You got your seniors' last whiteout in a big-time environment, college football playoff, and everything that was there. And the way they lost that game in double overtime was heartbreaking for them. And then they go out west and get beat by a UCLA team who was still trying to figure out who's going to be their head coach and play caller. And then you come back home and losing a game that versus a Northwestern team, like you said, that don't even have their best player on the field. And then you lose your starting quarterback. At this point, it's the way we're trying to find a way to salvage this season for Penn State. Don't know how you do that.
Yeah, where do you go from here, Richard? Ethan Grunkemeyer takes over. Where do you go? What's next?
Guys, I'm not trying to be dramatic here. Penn State might not make a bowl game from here. I mean, you're bringing in a new quarterback into an offense that hasn't been very good around your veteran quarterback in Drew Allar. And I do think right now we're going to have some serious questions about Penn State's mentality. Is this going to be a team that folds up the tent? Are these going to be some good veteran players on this Penn State team that now say, oh, I got draft stock to protect? And they start to, we don't like to use the word quit. We don't like to say that about football teams, but this is a Penn State team that now their goals are no longer in front of them, and their season as far as where they wanted to go, Big Ten championship, college football playoff, national championship, effectively over. So do they throw in the towel? Do they fold from here?
I mean, yeah, and I don't want to say this about any player, but getting a diagnosis that fast when you was able to walk off the field about your done.
Well, he was carted off. He was carted off.
Well, you carted off the field, you walked off and carted to the locker room.
Yeah.
That you're getting a diagnosis that you're done for the season, maybe some of those things, and Coach Franklin talking about, hey, I got to check with the family to see basically what's in Drew's best interest to continue to move forward, because everything you came back for is no longer on the front foot for you. So now what's next? To get ready for the next level. And you got some great seniors starting in the backfield with 2 unbelievable running backs who got to start thinking like that as well. So hopefully Penn State can find a way to salvage this season. But like you said, Richard, bowl game expectations may be almost unrealistic.
This is so quick in terms of how the season went sideways. They were just in a game against Oregon a couple weeks ago where they went to double overtime. Then you go to UCLA, you get upset there. Then you come home to play Northwestern, you get upset here, and then Drew Allar's done for the year. I mean, that's how quickly things change.
I think college football fans need to understand that this is another byproduct of the new era. Florida State goes undefeated to 2-10. I'm not saying Penn State's going to finish the season 3-9, but Penn State goes from semifinal last year to Big Ten and college football playoff favorite shoe-in this year to what you're seeing right now. In this era of college football, it can happen really, really fast. You're seeing it. You're seeing it right in front of you for the 2nd year in a row.
You don't like that?
You know, you never know, but you can see the good side of things too. Let's see what Kurt Cinetti did with Indiana in the first year.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And now the calls for James Franklin's job will get louder and louder in Happy Valley. His buyout, $50 million. It's a lot of money to come up with, but we'll see what happens. And again, Drew Allar out for the rest of the season. An unfortunate injury for the starting quarterback at Penn State as they fall for the 3rd week in a row.